Well, hi everybody, I'm Bill Whittle and this is Afterburner. I'd like to show you a couple of quick snapshots from America in the second decade of the 21st century to see if you can guess what they might have in common. Ready? Here we go. Multimillionaires like Jay Z and Michael Moore making appearances showing solidarity with the 99% as they sell their stuff at Occupy rallies. A Prius with no blood for oil and free Tibet stickers on the bumper. Celebrities like Matt Damon saying we need to raise income tax rates. 9/11 and moon landing conspiracy theorists, and Barack Obama talking about his election as the culmination of the struggle of the American black experience. So what do these things have in common? Well, let's deconstruct the examples. Michael Moore makes millions off of a film condemning capitalism. Jay Z makes a bundle selling shirts saying, "Occupy all streets." But these one percenters have simply done what the hated banks and evil corporations do, namely sell products that people wanted for a profit. Now, I say good on them, but they want the unearned moral superiority of being part of a morally privileged class, namely the poor. Or take the Prius with the bumper stickers. It's the same thing. No blood for oil implies that your car runs on fairy dust and not the exact same stuff as the SUV next to you does. He gets 28 miles per gallon and he's incinerating the earth and the children, and you get 48 miles per gallon and you're saving the planet, even if you drive twice as much and use as much gas. See how easy it is? And the Free Tibet crowd thinks that having a bumper sticker makes them look concerned and enlightened. Bumper stickers don't free Tibet. You know what actually could free Tibet? The United States Marine Corps could free Tibet, but you don't see too many Semper Fi stickers on the cars of graphic designers in Berkeley and Santa Monica, do you? It's unearned moral superiority. Championing things that don't work but look good rather than things that do work and look bad. Now consider celebrities like Matt Damon, calling for higher income taxes and saying what hit him hardest of all. First of all, when Matt Damon gets a $10 million payday, I'll bet you anything, the check does not say pay to the order of Matt Damon. Like everyone else in this business, myself included, it gets made out to his production company, whose job it is to see that Matt Damon gets paid as little as possible and that the company itself pays for as much as it can. I do it to pay as little tax as possible. And so does Matt raise our income taxes, Damon. And also, raising taxes is a luxury that a rich guy like Matt Damon can afford. If he only takes home $6 million a picture instead of $8, it doesn't really hurt as much as raising taxes would on you and me, does it? But celebrities do stuff like this all the time, make grand and hollow gestures to make themselves look generous and sympathetic. You know how many of them actually pay extra taxes to lead by example? Then there's the 9/11 and moon landing conspiracy lunatics who spend their entire lives trying to convince you that the simple, plain, perfectly explainable things you saw happen with your own eyes in real time didn't actually happen. Why do they do this? Well, because it makes them look smarter than the sheeple that buy the government story. It makes them feel like they're courageously bucking the power structure. It is unearned moral and intellectual superiority. And finally, when Barack Obama talks about how his election is a new beginning, the cleansing of the national stain of slavery and prejudice, just remember, this is a kid who was coddled his whole life, who smoked reefer and snorted coke on the beach in Hawaii, and who mysteriously had every single door he ever went to knock on open for him before he even crossed the street to get to it. He has nothing to do with the black experience in America, but he wants that unearned moral superiority. Unearned moral superiority is the coin of the realm these days. So, why is all of this happening? Well, it's two things, I think. First of all, 100 years ago and through virtually all of human history, you had to work hard to achieve an increase in your standard of living. But when more or less everyone has more or less everything, how do you express the basic human desire to show that you're better than everyone else? Well, if you're not smarter or more decent than other people, you can trade in the coin of the realm by acting smarter and more decent than everyone else. Any flyover state hillbilly idiot can side with the United States against Muslim extremism, but think about how morally and intellectually advanced you have to be to root for the other side. And it doesn't cost a penny of your money or a moment of your time. And secondly, look, there are people that so despise capitalism that they live inexpensively in self-published pamphlets and hand them out, but they're not millionaire celebrities or millionaire businessmen or millionaire politicians trying to identify with the 99%. Now, likewise, there are people that are so opposed to so-called wars for oil that they ride bicycles everywhere and live in cabins without electricity, at least I presume there are. And there are also people protesting and dying to free Tibet. Most of them are in China and Tibet, and they're not known or remembered. There are people in the world who give virtually everything they have to the less fortunate, and there are also people who lead by example and sacrifice first, not bleat about it and wait for everyone else to lead the way. there are some people that, you know what, these people are not worth another second of my time. And finally, there are, in fact, many millions of Americans who went through genuine hardship, genuine suffering, and genuine prejudice at the hands of this country and still have a much, much deeper love for America than these two. Now, I don't sympathize with any of those positions except for the last one, but at least they've earned their moral position. They're entitled to some respect for living up to their own standards, but it never ceases to amaze me that the loudest and most visible critics of this country and its free market economy are those that wrap themselves in the prosperity and security it provides as they shoot their spitballs of hypocrisy and malevolence and bite the hand that feeds and protects them.